The Kansas City T-Bones proudly present T-Bones Baseball on the Air. Members of the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball Clubs and home of fun well done. The T-Bones Broadcast Network is brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Now let's head out to the ballpark for the starting lineups and the first pitch with the voice of the T-Bones, Nathan Moore.
Welcome to beautiful Community America Ballpark as we get set for Game 1 of this weekend series, a quick 3-game series here at Community America Ballpark between your Kansas City T-Bones and the St. Paul Saints. Matt Folks here along with you tonight. Nate will be back with us, should be back with us tomorrow and Sundays. This is a quick 3-game series. We saw a quick 3-game road trip in Lincoln where Kansas City took 2 or 3 games from the Salt Dogs Tuesday and Wednesday night and then lost last night. So we get set to come back here tonight. Kansas City coming in here 16-24 overall, but they're facing the best team in the American Association, the St. Paul Saints, which are 28-13 coming in here tonight. Mike Kickham's on the hill for Kansas City. This is his second start here in a T-Bones uniform. He started for Kansas City last Sunday against Fargo Moorhead. Went 4 innings. Struck out 4 batters, gave up 7 hits. Left in a tie game, but Kansas City went on to lose that to the Red Hawks. We'll talk more about Kickham here as we move along in this broadcast. Kickham, the big left-hander, will wheel and deal the first pitch to Alonzo Harris, and Harris swings at it and lifts it into center field. Tyler Massey drifts over to his left, Cam Sutter, and pulls it down for out number 1. Your lineup tonight for the St. Paul Saints, Alonzo Harris just led off with a fly out to center. So an F8 for out number 1. Batting second, the right fielder, Breland Almadova. First pitch missing outside Almadova. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Nate Hansen. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Angelo Sonko. Tony Thomas bats fifth, and he's at shortstop. Willie Argo is your DH. He's batting sixth. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Chad Christensen. Batting eighth, the catcher, Max Garrett. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Sam Moss. So it's 2-0 now to Almadova. As he fouls this one at the plate. Kansas City dressed in their black jerseys, trimmed in gold and oxblood with the white pants. The Saints in their gray road jerseys, trimmed in blue. We'll set the defensive stage here in just a moment. The windup and the 2-1 to Almadova's on the ground. Broken bat to Frias. Vladdy up with it over to first in time for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in the first. Now to bring up Nate Hansen, the third baseman. Hansen batting .260 on the season. And on the right side of the plate, the lefty Kickham wheels and deals the first pitch. And it's on away. Defensively for Kansas City. Behind the plate, Brian Erie. At first base, Jake Blackwood. Brett Wiley's at second base. Vladimir Frias, who just made that second out, is at short. Here's the 1-0 to Hansen on the ground. Just past the diving Jake Blackwood into right field as it hit the lip of the grass and scooted into right for a 2-out single for Hansen. And at third base tonight for Kansas City, making his Kansas City debut here in 2016 is Jimmy Mojica, longtime favorite here in Kansas City. Now makes his home in this area, in Bonner Springs to be exact. Mojica signed just a couple hours ago. Defensively in the outfield, Dalton Weed in left, Tyler Massey in center, Starlin Rodriguez is in right. Angelo Sanko, the batter now, as he watches the first pitch from Kickham sail by for a called strike. Hansen gets his lead at first. Ball's grounded to Wiley at second. He'll go to first with it. And that'll do it for the Saints here in the first. So the Saints get a runner aboard, but Hansen will be stranded there. Here in the first, no runs on one hit. There were no errors. And one left on. We've played half an inning. It's St. Paul nothing, Kansas City coming up. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
We go to the bottom of the first here at Community America Ballpark. No scores. Kansas City gets their first crack here at the Saints. These two teams played the first road trip of the season for Kansas City back in late May. And they split the four-game series. We'll talk about that here momentarily. For Kansas City, your lineup tonight, batting first, the left fielder, Starlin Rodriguez. He'll be followed by the center fielder, Tyler Massey. Jake Blackwood, who's been on a bit of a hot streak, is batting third and playing first base. Batting fourth, returning from the DL today, the designated hitter, Anthony Gallus. Vladimir Frias will be batting fifth and playing shortstop. Brett Wiley batting sixth and playing second base. Jimmy Mojica, who we mentioned a few moments ago, was just signing a couple hours ago. He's at third base and batting seventh. Batting eighth in right field, Dalton Wheat. Brian Erie is catching and batting ninth. On the mound, Eric Vigeland. 0-1 on the season with a 27 ERA. As the second pitch to Rodriguez is on the ground towards short. Shortstop Thomas up with it over to first in time for out number one. Vigeland has only appeared in one game before today. It was an extra inning loss to Winnipeg. He pitched in one inning in that game. Ended up giving up 4 runs in what the Saints ultimately would go on to lose. He did give up 4 hits. Walked 1, struck out 1, gave up 2 home runs out of those 4 runs in that one inning. He faced 9 batters, and they're hitting .500 against him. So a very small sample size, probably not a good sample size. So Vigeland making his first start in his professional career as the left-hander delivers the 2-0 pitch to Massey and is fouled back to the screen. Tyler Massey against the Saw Dogs last night. Kansas City losing at Lincoln 9-2. This one's on the ground to first. Sonko up with it. Will take it himself. 4 out, number 2. Kansas City won the first 2 games at Lincoln and then lost 9-2 last night. That would have been the first sweep of the season for the T-Bones. But Massey went 0 for 4 in that game. Brings up Jake Blackwood. Blackwood 2 for 3 last night, scored both of Kansas City's runs. Had a double in the game as the first pitch from Vaglin is blown away. Blackwood batting .272, 7 home runs, 36 RBIs. As this one's blown away. He had a couple home runs in that series at Lincoln. Batting .421 in his last 5 games. He's way ahead in the count now to Vaglin, 3-0. Jake in his last 10 games, batting .421. We talked about a week and a half ago about how Jake was off to a slow start. We were waiting to see when he would start to kick it into gear, and I think we're starting to see it as he walks on 4 pitches here against Vaglin. So each team with 2 outs gets its 3rd hitter aboard. And it brings up the DH, Anthony Gallus. Gallus has spent the last week or so on the DL with a shoulder issue, came off today. Bats here with Blackwood at first, 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. Vaglin, the left-hander, kicks and delivers, and the 1-ball pitch is in there for a strike. So 5 consecutive balls thrown by Vaglin, 4 to Blackwood, 1 to Gallus. Now it's 1-1 to Anthony Gallus, batting .214, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs. Most of those came early in the year as this pitch is down low. In the last 10 games, so 2 games before he went on the DL, Gallus was 1 for 10. As this one misses along the way. Vaglin, the rookie left-hander, comes set. The 3-1 pitch is fouled back and out of play. As I mentioned, these 2 teams played 4 games earlier in the season in St. Paul. In those 4 games, Gallus led Kansas City with a .400 average against the Saints. 6 for 15. Scored 7 runs, had 2 home runs. As he watches this 3-2 pitch go by for a called 3rd strike, at least according to home plate umpire Jordan Sandberg. So that's going to do it for Kansas City here in the first, as Vaglin picks up his first strikeout and the 3rd out here in the first inning. Kansas City with no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We've played an inning. We head to the second, no score. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It'll be Tony Thomas, Willie Argo, and Chad Christensen here to face Mike Kickham, who's making his second start for Kansas City. Started last Sunday against Fargo, and if you might recall, that was a long series for the T-Bones. As the first pitch to Thomas is low and inside. Happened to catch Fargo at a very good time for them, very bad time for Kansas City as Thomas skies this one into right field. Wheat camps under and pulls it down for out number one. So 1 up, 1 down here in the second. But Kickham got his first start in a T-Bones uniform against Fargo. Went 4 innings in that game, gave up 7 hits, 2 runs. Walked 1, struck out 4. He left the game in the fourth with a 2-2 tie. As the first pitch to Argo's in there for a strike. Here's the 1-strike pitch. It's in the dirt. So he went only 4 innings. He would not have gotten a decision, or a win rather, in that game. But he left with a 2-2 tie. As his pitch count was right around 75. Here's a line drive that Mojica will snag for out number 2. So 2 outs here in the second. But Mike Kickham was very good against that offense on that weekend. Chad Christensen, the batter, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Kansas City was swept in that 4-game series. As here's a chopper. Free us up with it over to first in time for a 1-2-3 inning. But Kansas City was swept in that series 13-4, 10-9, 9-6, and 15-2. So for Kickham to have given up only 2 runs in 4 innings, the way that Fargo team was hitting that particular weekend was a very good way to get things going, and Kickham with a very good first couple innings here against St. Paul. We head to the bottom of the second. No score here at Community America Ballpark. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. Providence Medical Group has offices in Bonner Springs, Basehor, Tonganoxie, Lansing, Leavenworth, and KCK. That's why we're the go-to community hospital in the region. If you're a T-Bones fan, count on the medical team that takes care of your team. The great doctors of Providence Medical Center, just east of the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
We go to the bottom of the second. Vladimir Frias, Brett Wiley, Jimmy Mojica. Here to face Eric Veglin. Defensively for the Saints here tonight, Nate Hansen at third base, Tony Thomas at short. Sam Moss at second base, Angelo Sonko at first. The outfield from left to right, Chad Christensen, Alonzo Harris, and Breland Almadova. Max Garrett is behind the plate tonight for St. Paul. The windup and the first pitch to Frias is high and away. So Kansas City was outscored in that Fargo series 47-21. As Frias lifts this one deep into left center. The center fielder Harris drifts over, camps out, and pulls it down for out number one. So a lazy fly ball off the bat of Frias for the first out here in the second inning. Jordan Sandberg works behind the plate. Trent Delmont at first base. Brian Child is at third. Brad Wiley, the batter now, is the one-strike pitch, paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike two. Wiley batting .252, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Lifts this one into center field. Harris takes a couple steps back, camps under and pulls it down for out number two. So a couple lazy fly balls now in the inning for Kansas City, and it brings up the third baseman, Jimmy Mojica. So Jimmy Mojica making his debut of 2016. Kansas City acquired Mojica from Laredo during the offseason. He is wearing number 4 as he watches the first pitch from Veglin in for a strike. One strike pitch is going away. Mojica makes his home in the Bonner Springs area. So basically in our backyard. Here's the windup and the 2-1. Swung on, fouled back and out of play. Veglin works quickly as Mojica grounds this one down toward Harris, the third baseman, who will get over to first in time for out number 3. So each team with a base runner in the first inning, each team goes in order in the second. We've played 2. We head to the third. No score here at Community America Ballpark. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Mike Kickham back on the hill for Kansas City in a scoreless game here at Community America Ballpark, along with our producer engineer Charlie Boy. I'm Matt Folks here on this Friday night. It's been kind of a strange week. We ended our last homestand on a Monday. The T-Bones were in Lincoln Tuesday, Wednesday last night, and we're back for a three-game series, three-game homestand tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Max Garrett leads things off, and first pitch misses. Garrett in on the right side of the plate, swings and fouls this one back and out of play. Max Garrett has played in 12 games for the Saints, batting .231. 9 for 39, one double, one home run, 7 RBIs. As the 1-1 pitch swung on, grounded to third, handcuffed Mojica, but Mojica was able to get it out of his glove and get over to first in time for out number 1. Brings up the second baseman, Sam Moss. Moss batting .191, which is the lowest average on this Saints team. Tries to push a bunt, but pushes it right to Jake Blackwood, who will take one step back and touch first for out number 2. Not exactly what Moss wanted to do. Got it right down the line, but bunted it so hard that Blackwood just had to take one step back after fielding it. So go back to the top of the lineup now with Alonzo Harris. First pitch to Harris, misses down low. The Saints last night defeated Sioux Falls 6-3. That was in St. Paul as this pitch misses high. Harris went 1 for 4. The run scored in that game. That one hit was a triple. As he fouls this one sharply off his foot. Harris in a little bit of pain as the trainer, Jason Ellenbecker, will come out and check on him. Fouled that one sharply enough that it got down to third almost as hard as Moss's bunt got to first. A decent crowd on hand here tonight. The next 2 nights, fireworks. So make a note of that. The next 2 nights, Saturday night and Sunday night, 7:05 start. We generally start our Sunday games at 1:05 this week. It'll be at 7:05. Gates will open at 6 o'clock both nights. Harris is back up, Diggs back in, and now looks like a couple of kids have made their way down behind the wall. They lost their ball in the left center, or right center rather. Home plate umpire Jordan Sandberg calls time. Now we're back in action. Kickham delivers the 2-1 pitch. Right back through the middle. Kickham did all he could to stop that one, but it will make it to center field for a 2-out single by Alonzo Harris. Brings up Almodovar, batting .256, 4 home runs. Grounded out to Frias in the first inning. As Kickham, the lefty, goes to first. San Francisco selected Kickham in the 6th round of the 2010 Major League Baseball amateur draft out of Missouri State. Not sure if Harris was just getting a good secondary quickly or thought about taking off, but he mistimed it. Quick snap throw by Kickham, but Harris able to get back safely. Kickham with a long look over there before coming to the plate. And it's in there for a strike to Almodovar. Kickham reached the major leagues with the San Francisco Giants in 2013. Spent parts of 13 and 14 in San Francisco. Went 0-3 with a 10.98 ERA in 14 appearances. Made 3 starts in those 14 appearances. Runner takes off. Ball's on the ground towards short. Frias will go to first with it in time for out number 3. So a 2-out single will yield nothing for the Saints. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Scoreless. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We head to the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Wheat, Erie. Then we'll go back to the top with Rodriguez. Here to face Eric Vigeland. Vigeland came into this game 0-1 with a 27.00 ERA. This is his first start. He appeared in an extra inning 9-6 loss against Winnipeg on June 26th. First pitch to Dalton Weed, misses along the way. Vigeland signed with St. Paul on June 25th. 1-0 pitch is at the belt for a called strike. Played at the University of St. Thomas. He was 24-3 with 5 saves at St. Thomas. Here's the 1-1 to Wheat. Chopper up the middle. Moss, the second baseman, fields it, throws to first in time to get the speedy Wheat at first base. A bang-bang play at first, but Wheat retired. Wow. If we had replay, that might get overturned. Instead, it will go down as a 4-3 putout for out number 1. Brings up Brian Erie. Erie watches the first pitch go by for a strike, batting 150. The windup and the next pitch paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike. This is the 9th game for Erie since re-signing with Kansas City. As this one misses a little bit outside, he's 1-2. Erie is 3 for 20 with 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Off-speed pitch is grounded between the shortstop and the third baseman into left field for a 1-out single. So Brian Erie gets his second hit in his last 5 games. And it brings up the left fielder, Starlin Rodriguez. Rodriguez 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning. Takes a big swing and a miss at this first offering from Veglin. Erie not going anywhere, very close lead at first. Next pitch, curveball at 76, is swung on and missed. So Rodriguez has not looked good here on these first 2 pitches from Veglin. Erie with his hands on his knees, about 5 feet off the bag. Next pitch gets through the legs of the catcher, Max Garrett. That's going to put Erie at second base. So Brian Erie heads to second on a pass ball, and a count now 1-2 to Rodriguez. Erie, not exactly a stolen base threat. Not saying the ball needed to get past Garrett for him to go second, but he definitely was not planning on going there. Here's the 1-2, big swing and a miss, so Rodriguez will be the second strikeout of the night for Veglin. And with 2 outs here in the third, it brings up Tyler Massey. Kansas City with a runner at second base and 2 outs here in the third, and a scoreless game. Massey lines this one into right field. They're going to wave Erie around. Here comes a throw toward the plate, and they will nail Erie on a great throw from the right fielder, Almadova. Not even a close play as Erie will be gunned down for out number 3 on the base hit by Tyler Massey here in the third inning. So Kansas City will come up empty here in the third. They do get 2 hits out of it. There were no errors and 1 left on. We've played 3. We head to the 4th. No score. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Well, surprisingly, that was a third out, gun down at home for Kansas City. Massey has been very good in that spot with runners in scoring position, 2 outs, but Brian Erie did not stand a chance of scoring at home. So we head to the 4th, no score here at Community America Ballpark. As Mike Kickham quickly jumps ahead 0-2 to Nate Hansen. Hansen singled with 2 outs in the first inning. I will get my numbers correct at some point. Numbers are challenging, what can I say? As this one is swung on and missed. So Hansen will be the first strikeout of the night for Kickham. And with 1 out here in the 4th, it brings up Angelo Sonko. Sonko having a bit of an off season, batting just .311. .46 of 148. As the first offering misses. 9 doubles, 2 triples, 8 home runs, 23 driven in. Next pitch outside from Kickham. Obviously, saying that somewhat tongue-in-cheek, we've seen a very good Angelo Sonko here in the last couple seasons. As he lifts this one deep into center field, Massey will drift back. Cam Punter and pull it down for out number 2. Brings up the shortstop, Tony Thomas. Neither team with a run, both teams with 2 hits. We're at 2 outs in the 4th as this one is in there for a strike to Thomas. St. Paul has gotten off to a hot start. But talking with their broadcaster, Sean Aronson, before the game today, said, as surprisingly as this may sound, the team we had last year, which at this point was not quite as good, record-wise, he said was a better team than this one. But the Saints leading the American Association 28-13 as Kickham will get Tony Thomas on strikes. The second strikeout of the inning, second strikeout of the night for Kickham, and the third out here in the 4th in a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Kickham and the T-Bones. We head to the bottom of the 4th. No score. Back after this on the T-Bones Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning, the experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
We go to the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Jake Blackwood, Anthony Gallus, Vladimir Frias. Matt Folks here along with you, Community America Ballpark. Nate will be back with you tomorrow. A quick three-game homestand, quick three-game series here with Kansas City and St. Paul. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on for both teams as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Blackwood walked his first time up, and he watches the first pitch from Vegel miss outside. Jake Blackwood, third in the league in RBIs with 36. Tied in that spot with Noah Perio of Sioux City and Tony Thomas of St. Paul. Blackwood lines this one foul and out of play down toward the kids area. Nice crowd on hand tonight, expecting a big crowd each of these 3 games. Tomorrow night, 7:05, big fireworks show afterwards. And Sunday, instead of 1:05, it is 7:05. With the big fireworks spectacular after that game as well. Blackwood pops this one up, and it will drift into the seats behind first base. The windup and the pitch from Veglin is lifted into shallow right field. Almodovar comes in, camps under, and pulls it down for out number 1. Brings up Anthony Gallus, who struck out looking his first time up. That ended the first inning with Blackwood at first. So with 2 outs, Veglin walked Blackwood. And the count had gone 3-2 to Gallus. He watched what he thought was ball 4 go by. Home plate umpire Jordan Sandberg thought it was strike 3. And of course, in that situation, the umpire's always right. The windup and the 1-ball pitch to Gallus in there for a strike. As good as St. Paul has been this year, they do not have any hitters in the top 10 in the American Association. They do not have any pitchers in the top 10 in the American Association. Kansas City has 1 pitcher in the top 10. That being Sunday's starter, Jared Messer. As Gallus pops this one up to second. Moss calls for it and pulls it in for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth. It brings up Vladimir Frias. Jared Messer is 7th in the top 10, ERA 2.60. He is scheduled to go Sunday for Kansas City. St. Paul has yet to announce their starter. First pitch to Vladdy is on the outside corner for a called strike. Frias skies this one to left. Can of corn for Christensen. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Voegtlin and the Saints. So the teams pretty much following each other through these 4 innings. We head to the 5th. St. Paul nothing, Kansas City nothing. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters here to face Mike Kickham, Willie Argo, Chad Christensen, Max Garrett. First pitch, a high chopper. Mojica will field it, throw to first in time for a quick 1 out here in the 5th inning. Jimmy Mojica starting at third base for Kansas City tonight. Mojica signed earlier today. Can play third, short, second. Chad Christensen, the batter now, as the first pitch from Kickham is in there for a strike. Swing and a miss by Christensen. So quickly, Kickham goes ahead in the count 0-2. The windup and the 2-strike pitch. Big swing and a miss. Erie unable to hold on to it, so he will pick it up and throw to first in time for the putout. Third strikeout of the game for Kickham. And 2 outs here in the 5th for the catcher, Max Garrett. Max Garrett fouls the first one back. As I mentioned, these 4 teams played in the first road trip of the season for Kansas City, May 26th through the 29th. Pretty tough to tell what you had really with either team at that point. As this one's in there for a strike. This T-Bones team looks a little bit different than it did then. Starlin Rodriguez was not here yet. Dalton Wheat had not signed. Obviously, Jimmy Mojica was not here. Brian Erie was not here. As this one misses low and inside. Mike Kickham was not here. So really looking around the infield, you had Jake Blackwood, Brett Wiley, Vladimir Frias, and Tyler Massey. 4 out of the 9 on the field now for Kansas City. We're here for that first series against the Saints. Now the two teams split that 4-game series, with Kansas City winning the first one 10-2. That was the first time this season Kansas City scored 10 runs in a game. As Kickham will get Garrett to chase one out of the zone, get his 4th strikeout of the game, and a 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Saints nothing, T-Bones nothing. Back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
Both starting pitchers tonight throwing very well as we go into the bottom of the 5th inning. For Kansas City, it'll be Brett Wiley, Jimmy Mojica, Dalton Wheat. Here to face Eric Veglin. Veglin, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Making his first start here in this 2016 season, signed just a week ago. First pitch to Brett Wiley, misses low and away. Here's the windup of the next pitch to Wiley. It's blooped into left field. It'll drop for a single. A leadoff base hit for Brett Wiley here in the 5th. And it brings up Jimmy Mojica. As I've mentioned a couple times, Mojica signing earlier today with Kansas City. Played with the T-Bones previously in 2010 and 2011. In 2010, that was when Kansas City still played in the Northern League, as Mojica shows bunt, but pulls it back. He played in 97 games in 2010 for Kansas City. Hit .281 with 8 home runs, 43 RBIs. 1 ball pitch, paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike. He had 94 hits in those 97 games, 15 doubles, 3 triples. And on the right side of the plate, the infield third baseman Hansen is in, as this pitch is low. Mojica stole 24 bases that year. The next season, Kansas City's first in the American Association, as this one's lifted into right center. It's going to drop in for a double for Mojica. The ball's bobbled by Harris. We'll see if They end up giving Mojica a single or a double, but either way, Wiley's going to end up at third base. Mojica will be at second. In 2011, Mojica played in 82 games for Kansas City. Hit .303 with 12 home runs, 41 RBIs. Had 107 hits in 82 games. Second and third for Kansas City brings up Dalton Wheat. Rookie against rookie, lefty against lefty. The first pitch is in there for a called strike. Wiley grounded out to Moss, the second baseman, leading off the third inning. Has a chance to get RBIs number 9 and 10 and put Kansas City on the board with nobody out here in the fifth inning. The kick and the pitch, big swing and a miss. Dalton Wheat with runners in scoring position, batting .429. He's down on the count here, 0-2 with Brian Erie awaiting on deck. The kick and the two-strike pitch. Chopped right off the base at third base. That's going to score one. Mojica's going to round. He will head toward home. The throw is not in time as Mojica slides around the tag by Max Garrett. And Kansas City will take a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning. We talked earlier about the failed bunt attempt by Sam Moss and how he did not place it perfectly. I don't think Dalton Wheat could have thrown or rolled that ball any better than he just hit it. Right down the third base line, goes off the bag, and Kansas City will take a 2-0 lead with nobody out here in the fifth. Dalton Wheat with 2 RBIs, and he will wind up at second base. Erie squares around for a bunt. It's bobbled by Veglin, so his only play is going to be to first, and he will throw there in time to get Brian Erie, but Veglin, if he doesn't bobble that, has a pretty good shot at getting Wheat at third base. As it turns out, it'll be a sacrifice for Brian Erie. 1 out in the inning. And we go back to the top now with Starlin Rodriguez. So 3 consecutive hits in the inning. The infield will now be in for St. Paul. With Dalton Wheat getting his lead at third base. Grounder just fouled down the third base side. Just inches from being the exact same spot as Dalton Wheat's. If Rodriguez gets it out of the infield, Dalton Wheat is speedy enough, he should score. This one misses inside to Rodriguez, who's 0 for 2. Rodriguez grounded out in the first, struck out in the third. Digs in on the right side of the plate against the lefty Veglin. The kick and the 1-1 pitch. Tapped foul off the foot of Rodriguez, so he will hobble around quickly. Try to get feeling back in his feet. Brett Wiley led off the inning with a single. And then Mojica and Wheat is in time to get Dalton Wheat. So Dalton Wheat will be the second runner thrown out at home tonight for Kansas City. And having the infield in work that time for St. Paul. We see it not working so many times, but Rodriguez with a nice chopper to the shortstop, Tony Thomas. And with Wheat leaving on contact, Not a tough play at the plate for Thomas. Brings up Tyler Massey now with 2 outs and a runner at first. Kansas City has taken a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Vega on the lefty, kicks and delivers. It's low and away. Massey able to hold up on a swing. Massey 1 for 2 tonight. Rodriguez with his lead at first. They kick in the pitch. Swung on, popped up toward third base. Hanson toward the line. Cam Sutherland pulls it down for out number 3. But not before Kansas City will break through here in the 5th inning. The T-Bones come away with 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on. 5 in the books. We head to the 6th. Kansas City leading it now 2-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
We go to the 6th inning, 2-0 in favor of Kansas City here at Community America Ballpark. Matt Folks here along with you on a gorgeous night. A lot of clouds in the sky. Looked earlier like it might rain earlier. It did sprinkle a little bit about 6 o'clock, but nothing of substance. 2-0 count to Sam Moss, the number 9 hitter in the St. Paul lineup. He'll be followed by Harris and Almondova. The windup and the 2-ball pitch is inside to Moss. So a 3-0 count to Moss. Kickham has given up a couple singles and now has walked his first batter of the night. A relatively clean night thus far for Mike Kickham. He's had 48 pitches here after facing one batter in the 6th. He threw about 75, 76 pitches on Sunday against Fargo in 4 innings. As this pitch is upstairs to Harris. Kickham started this season in Double-A Richmond in the Giants organization. Had not been used as a starter. And that was one thing he really wanted to do this season, was start more. Here's a fly ball into left center. Charging in is the left fielder Rodriguez. Massey will end up backing him up, and Rodriguez will make the play for out number 1. Moss will track back to first, and it brings up Almadova, the right fielder. So in what turned out to be a loss for Kansas City on Sunday against Fargo, no decision for Kickham, left in a 2-2 game. But he left after throwing about 75 pitches, which is where they wanted him to be at that outing. Obviously, they had hoped that 75 could last another inning or two. Either way, he came out, 2-2 game. Kansas City went on to lose that night to Fargo. As this one's in there for a strike to Almadova. Almadova, 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice to Frias. Sam Moss, who led off this inning with a walk, gets his lead at first. Next pitch in the dirt, blocked by Erie. Almadova batting .255, 4 home runs, 23 RBIs. In on the right side of the plate, Kickham the lefty. Kicks and delivers, and it's right back to Kickham, who will field it, throw to second for one, to first in time for an inning-ending 1-6-3 double play. That is one of those times that being 6'4" probably worked out really well for Mike Kickham. If he's an inch shorter, that ball gets through the middle. As it is, though, it ends up being a 1-6-3 double play, ending the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th, Kansas City leading it 2-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
Eric Veglin back on the hill for the Saints. They trail it 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Kansas City, Blackwood, Gallus, and Frias. If anybody gets on, Vladimir, check that, Brett Wiley. First pitch to Blackwood's in for a strike. Jake walked in the first inning. Flied out in the 4th. A 1-strike pitch on the ground towards short. Fielded by Thomas over to first in plenty of time to get Jake 6-3 for out number 1. Brings up the DH, Anthony Gallus. Gallus 0 for 2 tonight. Returning tonight from the disabled list. Goes after the first pitch from Veglin and fouls it back and out of play. Anthony Gallus sits at 293 career RBIs. So he's 7 from 300. 579 career hits, 21 from 600. As he fouls this one down the third base side. Quickly, Gallus finds himself behind in the count, 0-2. The windup and the two-strike pitch is lifted deep into left field and gone. Home run, Anthony Gallus. So Anthony Gallus will launch that one well over the Saints bullpen. And will give Kansas City a 3-0 lead now here in the sixth. Frias goes after the first pitch, grounds it to short rather, and the play is in time for out number 2. Anthony Gallus returning from the DL earlier today. Now has 3 home runs against St. Paul. Brings up Brett Wiley. First pitch to Wiley is swung on and lined toward the right field side, just foul, according to first base umpire Trent Delmont. Foul by inches down the right field side. So T-Bone's hitters this third time through the lineup against Veglin, wasting no time. They are jumping after that first pitch if it's there. Next pitch misses from Veglin. Wiley hit 200 in those 4 games up in St. Paul, 3 for 15. As he lines this one deep into right field, over the head of the right fielder, Almadova, and Brett Wiley will scoot into second base with his second hit of the night. So a 2-out double by Brett Wiley. He had a single leading off last inning, came in and scored on the base hit by Dalton Wheat. So he stands at second base with 2 outs as Jimmy Mojica, who doubled his last time up last inning, digs in on the right side of the plate against the lefty Veglin. First pitch to Mojica is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Mojica making his 2016 debut. Grounded on the second. So he is 1 for 2 here tonight, as this one misses down low. So Veglin at 76 pitches now, through 5 2/3. Making his first start of his professional career. The lefty comes center of the belt, checks second, now comes to the plate with the 2-1 pitch, and it's on the ground towards short. Thomas up with it to first. The throw is wide, but Sonko will tag Mojica for the 3rd out. But not before Kansas City will add a run here in the 6th inning on the big home run with one out by Anthony Gallus, giving Kansas City a 3-0 lead after 6. We head to the 7th. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
After 6 innings, 3-7-0-4, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 4 left on for Kansas City. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on thus far for the Saints. It'll be the 3-4-5 hitters, Nate Hansen, Angelo Sonko, Tony Thomas here to face Mike Kickham. Kickham at 54 pitches after 6 innings. First offering to Hansen is fouled back to the screen. After these two teams played earlier in the year, Nate Hansen was hitting .286 against Kansas City. He got 4 hits in that 4-game series, including a double and a home run. The windup and the pitch is in the dirt. Nate Hansen tied for second in the American Association in games with 40 coming into tonight. The two guys in first have now hit 42 games. It's Tony Thomas and Angelo Sonko, teammates of Nate Hansen. The windup and the 2-2 pitch is down low. So Thomas and Sonko with 41 games coming into tonight, so now 42. Brandon Tierney, Nate Hansen, and Cody Lenahan with 40 each. This 3-2 pitch barely missing outside. So for the second consecutive inning, Mike Kickham will lead off the Saints with a walk. Last inning, he helped himself with a 1-6-3 inning-ending double play. We'll see what happens now with Hansen walking and Sonko coming up to plate. Sonko 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. As this one's fouled back to the screen. I joked about Sonko's 8 home runs a little bit ago. Out of the top 5 spots, St. Paul Banners hold spots 3, 4, and 5. Sonko is one of those. As Brian Erie will call time. Kickham taking a long time to look at the runner Nate Hansen over at first base. The kick and the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Kansas City leading it 3-0, top of the 7th. These two teams back at it tomorrow night, 7:05. David Holman against John Straka. Kickham comes set. The 2-strike pitch is fouled back and out of play. Holman will be going into tomorrow night's game, 2-3 with a 5.71 ERA. Straka 5-2 with a 6.26. And then on Sunday, 7:05, Jared Messer against to be announced. As this pitch misses inside to Sonko. So 1-2 now to Sonko's, batting .307, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. Sonko with 8 home runs, and Alonzo Harris with 9, Tony Thomas with 9. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled back. Burt Reynolds with 17 home runs this year. That leads the American Association by far. Second, Josh Mazzola, who had a couple here last week. He has 11 on the season. Kickham, the lefty, comes set. The 1-2 pitch to Sonko, and this one's ripped deep into right field, but Wheat in front of the warning track will make the catch for out number 1, as Hansen will have to go back to first. So a long out off the bat of Angelo Sonko. And with 2 outs here, 1 out rather, here in the 7th, it'll bring up Tony Thomas. First offering to Thomas is fouled back next to Willie Argo, who awaits on deck for the Saints. St. Paul has won their last 2 games. They are 6-4 in their last 10. A big lead for Nate Harris. They kick in the pitch. Is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Here's the 2-strike pitch. It's down low off the shin guard of Erie, but stays in front of the plate to hold Hansen at first. Even though the Saints are 6-4 in their last 10, they're still at 28-13. A 5-game lead in the North over Fargo. Here's the 1-2. Fouled back and out of play. Kansas City with a couple of big wins at Lincoln this week. Sit at 16-24, still in 4th place in the Central, but suddenly Gary has gone on a bit of a hot streak. The Railcats 8-2 in their last 10 games. As this one misses inside. They had that big series last weekend against Lincoln. Ended up overtaking the Salt Dogs in the top of the Central last weekend. Sioux City now sits at 2nd at 20-20. As this 2-2 pitch misses somewhere. Here's the payoff pitch. On the ground up the middle. Freitas dives, fields it, flips it to second for 1, over to first, in time for an inning-ending double play. An incredible play by Vladimir Frias as he dives to his left, feels it with his glove from the ground, flips it to second for one, and over to first for an inning-ending double play, the second consecutive inning that has ended with a double play. But this is a beauty here, 6-4-3. It's stretch time here at Community America Ballpark with Kansas City leading it 3-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
So we go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Kansas City leading it by a score of 3-0. But what an incredible play by Vladimir Frias. We've seen a lot of outstanding plays, and as our scorer Pat Madden, who has seen several games this year, pointed out, that's the best one he has seen from Vladdy this year, and that is probably in the top 4 plays we've seen Vladdy make in his time with the T-Bones. An incredible play that ends the top of the seventh inning. As we go to the bottom of the seventh, it's Dalton Wheat leading things off, and he grounds one towards short. Thomas bobbles it, and Wheat's going to be safe at first. It'll be a base hit for Dalton Wheat, his second of the night. It brings up Brian Erie now. Erie with a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Dalton Wheat was at second base after knocking in Brett Wiley and Jimmy Mojica, giving Kansas City their first 2 runs of the game. Erie bunts this one. It's picked up by Veglin. His only play is going to be to first. Veglin picked up the last one. It was bunted a little bit harder off the bat of Erie, and Veglin had a chance to get Dalton Wheat at third on that one. But he bobbled the ball and ended up getting Erie at first. Another sacrifice 1-3 for Brian Erie, and with one out and Dalton Wheat at second base, we go back to the top of the lineup now with Starlin Rodriguez. Kansas City leading at 3-0. Scoring 2 times in the 5th and 1 time on Anthony Gauss' home run in the 6th. First pitch in there for a strike to Rodriguez. Starlin looking for his first hit of the night. Hit on the right side of the plate. Veglin, the lefty, kicks and delivers, and this one's popped back and over our heads. Oh, 0-2 the count to Rodriguez. Starlin with 2 home runs this year and 9 RBIs. Dalton Wheat gets his lead at second base. The kick and the 2-strike pitch is lifted into center field. Not deep enough for Wheat to move from second base as Harris charges in quickly and makes the play for out number 2. So Dalton Weed stands at second base as Tyler Massey will come up now with 2 outs here in the 7th. Massey came up in a similar situation in the 3rd inning. Roped a single to right field, but Brian Erie was thrown out at the plate trying to score from second. Massey goes after the first pitch and lifts it into shallow left field. The shortstop, Thomas, goes back, camps under, and pulls it down for out number 3. So the T-Bones get the leadoff runner aboard, but cannot move him beyond second base. We've played 7. T-Bones leading it 3-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
Heathwood Oil Company was the first independently owned oil company in Kansas City, and they're now one of the oldest continuously family-owned oil companies in the Midwest, featuring Citgo lubricants. With a current bulk storage capacity of over 250,000 gallons, they have the products you need. Let Heathwood and Citgo design a Citgo lubricants program to reduce cost and increase production. Call 913-321-1764 or email sales@heathwoodoil.com. Heathwood and Citgo, your lubrication specialist since 1926.
Mike Kickham back on the hill for Kansas City as we head to the 8th inning. T-Bones leading at 3-0. As it'll be Willie Argo, Chad Christensen, Max Garrett, the 3 scheduled hitters. Here to face Kickham, who has thrown 73 pitches through 7 innings. First pitch inside to Argo. If you're keeping track at home, as this one is lined by Mojica, an outstanding play by Jimmy Mojica at third base. Shows why they call it the hot corner. As that one got down there in a hurry off the bat of Argo. So 1 out here in the 8th. It brings up the left fielder, Chad Christensen. If you're keeping track at home, Kansas City has not had a pitcher throw a complete game, a 9-inning complete game, since July 27th, 2013. That was when Kenny Hook was managing. A pitcher for John Mazzarelli has not thrown a complete game. Jared Messer went 8 innings earlier this week at Lincoln and was throwing very effectively. He was at about 120 pitches, however, after 8 innings. So even though Kansas City was in control of that game, and ended up beating the Salt Dogs that night by a final of 6-1. That was Tuesday night, as this pitch is high and away to Christensen, so he will draw a 1-out walk here in the 8th. Third walk in as many innings for Kickham. That's going to bring out pitching coach Bill Sobey. But Jared Messer was at about 120 pitches after 8 innings. A little bit more efficient night for Kickham thus far. He's at 79. No runs, 2 hits, No errors for the Saints, and only 2 left on tonight. Kansas City with 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 5 left on. As both bullpens will begin to get loose. Max Garrett the batter now. As Garrett fouls this one off his leg. The walk that Kickham gave up in the 6th inning, his first walk of the night, turned into a 1-6-3 inning-ending double play. His walk leading off the 7th inning to Hansen turned into a fabulous 6-4-3 double play. Started by Frias. Here's a big swing and a miss by Garrett. Counts now 0-2. There's 1 out here in the 8th with Chad Christensen on first after a walk. The 2-strike pitch swung on and missed. Kickham will get his 5th strikeout of the ball game. 2 of those to Max Garrett. So with 2 outs here in the 8th, it brings up the second baseman, Sam Moss. Looks like Aaron Baker warming up for Kansas City. First pitch to Moss, in there for a strike. So if Kickham is able to work around this walk and get out of this inning fairly quickly, it'll be interesting to see, as this pitch misses inside, it'll be interesting to see what manager John Mazzarelli decides to do. Kickham, the lefty, comes center of the belt. The kick and the 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. So Sam Moss, who's 0 for 1 tonight, is behind in the count, 1-2. Moss batting .188, no home runs, 4 RBIs. Kickham with the 1-2 pitch. It's swung on a miss, so Kickham will strike out his 6th of the night. And at this point, sitting fewer than 10 pitches from where he was last game on Sunday. Mazzarelli wanted to extend him a little bit tonight. We'll see if that means he will come out for the 9th inning. We'll find out momentarily. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. T-Bones leading it 3-0. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America,
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
We get our first trip to the bullpen tonight as Vengland's night is finished for St. Paul as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Kansas City leading it 3-0. Matt Folks here along with you at Community America Ballpark as the new pitcher will be Zach Westcott, and he'll be here to face Jake Blackwood, Anthony Gallus, and Vladimir Frias. If anybody gets aboard, Brett Wiley. Zach Westcott, a 6'1", 175-pound right-hander out of Weston, Florida. Counts even up 1-1 to Blackwood. They kick and the pitch. Off-speed pitch, grounded sharply to third. Hanson up with it. Over to first in time for out number 1. So Blackwood, after walking in the first inning, is 0 for 3 since then. It brings up Anthony Gallus, who struck out in the first inning, popped out in the fourth, but then launched one deep over the Saints bullpen with one out in the 6th inning that gave Kansas City its 3rd run of the game. They have the shift on for Anthony Gallus. In the infield, you have Hanson, Thomas, and Moss. It's not going to matter as Gallus will lift his second one out of here. Home run, Anthony Gallus. So Anthony Gallus with his second home run. He just came off the DL earlier today and has 2 solo home runs with 1 out here tonight. Kansas City now on top 4-0 as the first pitch at 65 in their first strike to Frias. One strike pitch way inside. Next one missing down low. It's now 2-1. Frias lifts the next one into left, and Christensen will make a leap at the end to make the play for out number 2. So 2 outs here in the 8th, and it'll bring up Brett Wiley. T-Bones leading at 4-0 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch to Wiley, misses low and away. Wiley fouls this one back to the net. 2 balls, 1 strike to Wiley. As this one misses down low, so Wiley had the count 3-1. Wiley fouls this one back and out of play. Wiley on the 3-2 pitch lines it into right field for a 2-out single. So it brings up Jimmy Mojica with 2 outs and runner at first. First pitch to Mojica. Misses, low and away. Mojica with a double and a run scored in the 5th inning. Digs in on the right side of the plate. Westcott kicks and delivers, and this one paints the black on the outside corner for a called strike. The kick and the pitch, off speed pitch, and it's going to be fouled next to Dave Schaub down along the third base side. Mojica just fouled down the first base side this time. Westcott, the righty, comes center of the belt. The kick and the pitch is off the hands and off a seat in the suites. Next pitch gets away from the catcher Garrett, so Brett Wiley will move up to second base. Eric Veglin started this game for St. Paul, went 7 innings, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, all 3 were earned. Walked 1, struck out 2, gave up 1 home run, that being the first of 2 tonight for Anthony Gallus. The 2-2 pitch is into left field. They're going to wave Wiley around. The throw toward the plate, not in time. Mojica will dive in safely at second, and Kansas City will be on top 5-0 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So now it'll really get interesting as warming up in the bullpen is Aaron Baker for Kansas City. So now sitting at about 84, 85 pitches, and John Mazzarelli in the dugout talking with Bill Sobey, pitching coach. It'll be interesting to see if they will bring Mike Kickham out for the 9th. Kansas City has scored twice here in the inning. Jimmy Mojica gets the RBI here as the first pitch in there for a strike to Dalton Wheat. Five runs on 11 hits, and this one not going to get down quickly enough. Christensen, the left fielder, will track this one off the bat of Wheat, and Kansas City will be done here in the 8th inning, and John Mazzarelli will go to his bullpen as we go to the 9th. So the streak will continue. Kansas City will once again not have a complete game. The last one, July 27th, 2013, is Mike Kickham's night will be finished. Aaron Banker will come in to see if he can seal things up here in the 8th with Kansas City leading it 5-0. We go to the 9th. We're back after this on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811, brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
So Mike Kickham's night is done. He went 8 innings, gave up 2 hits, walked 3, struck out 6, threw 86 pitches, 53 for strikes. And Aaron Banker will come in to see if he can shut the door here in the 9th inning. He'll be facing the 1-2-3 hitters, Alonzo Harris, Breland Almadova, and Nate Hansen. Kansas City leading at 5-0. A couple stories tonight. Mike Kickham's beautifully thrown game tonight, allowing just 5 base runners. And Anthony Gallus coming off the DL earlier today with 2 solo home runs tonight. So Aaron Banker's out there, and the first pitch in there for a strike to Alonzo Harris. Aaron Banker, the right-hander out of Kansas City, delivers the next one low and away. Aaron Banker has appeared in 18 games. He's 1-1 with a 4.05 ERA. He has 2 saves on the season. Has appeared in 20 innings, given up 27 hits, 12 runs, 9 have been earned. He's walked 7, struck out 17 as this one goes back to the screen. Banker has given up 4 home runs, 5 doubles. Opponents are hitting .329 against Baker. For all intents and purposes, that is the 3rd highest among Kansas City pitchers. As this one lines sharply past the third base coach. The count 2-2 to Harris. The kick and the 2-2 pitch. A little bit outside. The payoff pitch on the ground toward third. Mojica with it. Throws to first in time. A nice play by Jimmy Mojica. Retiring Alonzo Harris. We've seen some nice plays by Mojica in his Kansas City debut tonight. Almodovar, the batter now, is the first pitch. Misses somewhere. Next pitch going away. Here's the 2-0. It's in there for a strike. The kick and the pitch is a little bit low. So it's 3-1 now to Almodovar. Next pitch fouled back and out of play. Almodovar fouls this one back. Another foul off the bat of Almodovar. Almodovar 0 for 3 tonight. He grounded into a 1-6-3 inning-ending double play in the 6th inning. After kick him, it walks Sam Moss leading off the inning. Here's the 3-2. Lined into right field for a base hit. So just the third hit of the night for the Saints, and it'll bring up Nate Hansen, the third baseman. One out, we're in the 9th. Kansas City leading it 5-0. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Saints. 5-11-0 for Kansas City. The kick and the first pitch to Hansen is off the glove of Mojica. Almodovar is going to end up at third base, and Hansen will be safe at first. So with Aaron Baker on the mound, Kansas City will be facing the Saints with St. Paul having its first runner past, well, frankly, past first base tonight. As it'll go down as an error against Mojica. So runners at the corners for Angelo Sonko. And Sonko could make this game interesting with one swing of the bat. He might have just done it. Here's a ball going deep into center. Massey at the warning track makes the play on it for round number 2. The Saints will get their first run of the game, so Aaron Baker will give up a run here in the 9th inning. A deep, deep sacrifice fly by Angelo Sonko. Hansen has to hold up at first base. And the shutout is done for the night. 5-1 now in favor of Kansas City. Now with 2 outs, Tony Thomas will be the batter. First pitch to Thomas, big swing and a miss. Oh, and 1 the count, 2 outs here in the 9th. The kick and the pitch is a little bit outside. Next pitch misses somewhere to Thomas. So it's 2-1 now to Tony Thomas, who's 0 for 3 tonight. He grounded into the inning-ending double play in the 7th on a fantastic play by shortstop Vladimir Frias. 2-1 pitch lifted deep into right center. This could be trouble as it is caught by Wheat, ending the game. He got out of the shadows. Trent Delmont had not made the call yet. But a great play to end the game and preserve the win for Kansas City. On an outstanding play by Dalton Wheat in right field for Kansas City. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. A 2-minute break. We will wrap things up after this. But we tell you once again, Kansas City winning it tonight by a final of 5-1. We're back in 2 minutes on the T-Bones Broadcast Network.
It's always good to know that great doctors are close by. In fact, the great doctors of Providence Medical Center are right down the street from the ballpark at 89th and Parallel. Count on Providence when you need 24/7 emergency services, an accredited chest pain center, or specialized orthopedic and sports medicine services. Providence Medical Center is proud to be the official healthcare partner of the T-Bones. Learn more at providencekc.com.
At Community America, we're redefining wealth. It's time to focus on what really fills our lives with meaning. The experiences and relationships that define who we are and what we value. At Community America, what matters to you matters to us. Because when you have financial peace of mind, you can live life to the fullest. Make today wealthy.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
Country Inn & Suites in Village West is the official hotel of the KC T-Bones. We conveniently share the parking lot with the stadium and offer access to the best shopping and entertainment. Enjoy a comfortable stay with top-notch services and amenities. Start your day off right with our Be Our Guest breakfast. Our exceptional service makes Country Inn & Suites the ideal hotel in KC for anyone traveling for business or pleasure. Stay with us on your next trip and we'll have you saying, I love this country. Book today at countryinns.com/Kansas City KS.
I loved when the ice cream truck came around as a kid, the familiar music and the cool treats on a hot summer afternoon.
What's your happy place?
Have a Frosty Treats ice cream truck at your next corporate or private party. FrostyTreats.com.
T-Bones winning it tonight by a final of 5-1 as they open up a 3-game series against St. Paul. Here are your numbers for tonight. The T-Bones with 5 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, that coming in the 9th inning. Kansas City left 6 on base. St. Paul with 1 run, that coming in the 9th inning off Aaron Baker. 3 hits, no errors for St. Paul, and they left 4 on base. Your winner is Mike Kickham. He's now 1-0 on the season. And the loser, Eric Veglin, he's now 0-2. Your attendance tonight, 4,778. And your time, 2 hours, 5 minutes. A 9-inning game, 2 hours and 5 minutes. Well, the big story tonight, Mike Kickham, the way he threw in this game. We have talked about it in his start Sunday against Fargo, that it's going to be fun to watch him. I mean, again, we're talking about a guy with major league experience, and it's going to be really interesting to see how he pitches in the upcoming weeks. But he was great tonight against St. Paul, a team that came into this game with one of the best offenses in the American Association. But Mike Kickham gave up just 2 hits and 5 base runners total in 8 innings. A remarkable performance for Mike Kickham, who Kansas City is stretching out a little bit. He threw 86 pitches, 53 for strikes. And I really thought, and frankly, there's a part of me probably hoping he would come out for the possibility of a complete game, but manager John Mazzarelli going to the bullpen in the 9th inning, bringing in Aaron Baker, who was facing the top of the order and got Alonzo Harris to ground out, but then gave up a single to Almodovar. Hansen reached on an error. Angelo Sonko then launched a very deep sacrifice fly that gave the Saints their first run of the game before Tony Thomas flied out to the deepest part of right center, the second deepest part of this park, to the speedy Dalton Wheat, ending the game and sealing Kansas City's 5-1 win. With this win, Kansas City on the season will go to 17-24, as the Saints will drop to 28-14. We're back at it again tomorrow night, 7:05. David Holman going against John Straka. And then Sunday, 7:05. So remember, we're moving from 1:05 to 7:05 this Sunday night for special holiday 4th of July fireworks. It'll be Jared Messer going for Kansas City. St. Paul has yet to announce their starter for the Sunday night game. So David Holman tomorrow night against John Straka. Should be an outstanding pitching matchup once again here at Community America Ballpark. We hope you join us. Gates open at 6 o'clock. Big fireworks show after tomorrow night. Big fireworks show after Sunday night. And lucky for you guys, Nathan Moore will be back with you, scheduled to be back with you tomorrow night for that game. For our producer engineer, Charlie Boy, I am Matt Folks. Until next time, telling you once again, Kansas City winning it tonight by a final of 5-1 over St. Paul as these two teams open a 3-game series. Until tomorrow night, Matt Folks saying be safe and take care, everyone.
This game on the T-Bones Broadcast Network was brought to you by Community America Credit Union, Austin's Trailers and Motorsports, Budweiser, Coca-Cola, Price Chopper, Providence Medical Center, the Kansas Lottery, FlyKCI.com, Roma Bakery, Sheet Metal Local Number 2, and Kissick Construction. Tune in online all season to the T-Bones Broadcast Network. Click on the Watch Live or Listen Live buttons at TBonesBaseball.com. T-Bones Baseball, that's fun. Well done.